Eric and Mei Yen arrived at the quaint bed and breakfast nestled in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Sapphire, North Carolina. The crisp mountain air greeted them as they stepped out of their car, the scent of pine and the distant sound of a babbling brook already working to relax their travel-worn bodies. The rustic cabin style was tucked among towering pines, with a wraparound porch that boasted a view of the shimmering lake below. Mei looking around, this feels like a postcard come to life. I don't think I've ever seen anything so beautiful. Eric grinning, except for you. Mei rolling her eyes but smiling, you're already starting with the cheesy honeymoon lines. Eric, what can I say? The mountains bring out my inner romantic. Mei standing on the porch, breathing in the crisp mountain air, this is perfect. It's like we've stepped into a painting. Eric setting their bags down inside, exactly what we needed, quiet, nature, and no cell service. Mei teasing, speak for yourself. I might need to Instagram at least one of these sunsets. The bed and breakfast was a charming, rustic retreat, a perfect blend of old-world charm and cozy elegance. Its exterior was clad in weathered wood and accented with flower boxes brimming with bright blooms. The stone fireplace in the common area crackled softly, filling the space with warmth and a faint scent of cedar. Handmade quilts adorned the beds, their intricate patterns a testament to the craftsmanship of the region. A wraparound porch, complete with rocking chairs, offered a stunning view of the small, glistening lake surrounded by towering pines. As Eric and Mei entered the building, the bell above the door jingled, announcing their arrival. MRS. Calhoun, the innkeeper, appeared from behind the front desk, her cheerful demeanor immediately putting them at ease. Her kind eyes twinkled as she greeted them. MRS. Calhoun with a warm smile, welcome to Sapphire, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson. Or should I say Mr. and Mrs. Yen. Congratulations on your wedding. You two picked the perfect spot for a honeymoon. She handed them a wicker welcome basket tied with a gingham ribbon. Inside were jars of homemade jam, fresh honey harvested from a local apiary, a bottle of crisp apple cider, and a small bag of lavender-scented bath salts. Mei taking the basket, thank you so much. This place is amazing already. Eric grinning, it's going to be hard to leave. MRS. Calhoun chuckled, reaching for an antique key hanging on a wall organizer. MRS. Calhoun, that's what all the newlyweds say. Let me show you to your room. I think you'll find it cozy and private, perfect for a honeymoon. MRS. Calhoun led them up a wooden staircase that creaked gently underfoot, adding to the inn's rustic charm. Their room was at the end of the hall, offering extra privacy. When she unlocked the door, Eric and Mei stepped into a space that seemed like it had been plucked from a romantic novel. A king-sized bed stood against one wall, dressed in soft linens and a hand-stitched quilt. A large bay window overlooked the lake, its curtains tied back to reveal the shimmering water reflecting the late afternoon sun. A pair of armchairs flanked the window, with a small table in between holding a vase of fresh wildflowers. In one corner, a clawfoot tub beckoned, surrounded by candles and bottles of essential oils. Mei spinning slowly to take it all in, this is perfect. More than perfect. Eric dropping their bags near the bed, I don't think I've ever stayed anywhere like this before. MRS. Calhoun smiling, we pride ourselves on making this place a little slice of heaven. Breakfast is served from 7 to 10, and if you'd like, I can arrange for a picnic lunch or even a candlelit dinner out on the porch. Mei, that sounds wonderful. MRS. Calhoun, enjoy your stay, and don't hesitate to let me know if you need anything at all. After she left, Eric collapsed into one of the armchairs, letting out a contented sigh. Mei unpacked a little, placing their toiletries in the bathroom and tucking away their clothes in the wooden wardrobe. Eric leaning back with a grin, you know, I could get used to this kind of honeymooning. No emails, no calls, just us and this view. Mei walking over to him, basket in hand, and fresh honey. This place is magical. She sat on the armrest of his chair, and together they watched the sun dip lower, the lake glowing like molten gold in the twilight. After soaking in the serene view, Eric and Mei decided to explore the bed and breakfast a little more. The common area downstairs had transformed for the evening, with the stone fireplace casting flickering shadows on the wooden beams above. A small corner bar offered complimentary drinks, and a table near the fireplace was laden with snacks, charcuterie, fresh bread, and a selection of local cheeses. Eric grabbing 2 glasses of wine, you know, I could get used to this. No big city rush, just peace. Mei teasing, you? A mountain man? I give you 2 days before you start missing your espresso machine. Eric mock offended, I'll have you know I could chop wood and live off the land if I had to. Mei, I'll believe it when I see it. They settled into a cozy spot near the fire, enjoying their wine and chatting with a few other couples who were also staying at the inn. One older pair told them about a hidden waterfall nearby that was a must-see for hikers. After a hearty breakfast of blueberry pancakes and bacon, Eric and Mei met their hiking guides, Joe and Sam Wells, in the parking lot. Joe was tall and broad-shouldered with a laid-back demeanor, while Sam was petite but radiated energy and enthusiasm. The couple had been married for just over a year and made an immediate impression with their easy rapport and genuine warmth. Joe shaking Eric's hand, welcome to Sapphire. Ready to see the mountains the way they're meant to be seen? Sam handing Mei a map with marked trails, we've got a few surprises up our sleeves. Don't worry, nothing too intense unless you're into that kind of thing. Mei laughing, I think we're more into scenic than survival. Sam shaking Mei's hand, you're going to love it here. The trails are gorgeous, and we've got some of the best views in the state lined up for you. Joe grinning at Eric, hope you packed your stamina. Some of these hikes can be a little intense. Eric grinning back, we're ready. Lead the way. Their first hike took them through a forest thick with rhododendrons and moss-covered rocks. The air smelled of pine and damp earth, and sunlight filtered through the canopy, creating dappled patterns on the trail. Joe and Sam pointed out local wildlife, a family of deer grazing in the distance, a hawk soaring overhead, and shared stories about the area's history and folklore. After the invigorating hike through the picturesque trails of Sapphire, the group paused at a scenic overlook with a breathtaking view of the mountains stretching endlessly into the horizon. As they caught their breath, Eric struck up a conversation with Joe about the area. Eric wiping his brow, this place is incredible. Do you guys run these tours full-time? Joe nodding, pretty much. Sam and I have a small farm nearby, vegetables, honey, a few other things. Keeps us busy when we're not guiding folks around here. Mei, that sounds amazing. Do you sell at farmers markets? Sam, we do, but we're hoping to expand. Joe's been talking about getting into some bigger markets, maybe even selling to local restaurants. Eric's business instincts kicked in. As the owner of a logistics company with 20 transfer trucks, he was always thinking about how to streamline operations. Eric, you ever think about transporting your products directly to buyers? Cutting out the middle steps could save you time and money. Joe raising an eyebrow, that sounds great, but logistics isn't exactly my area of expertise. Eric grinning, lucky for you, it's mine. If you're interested, I can give you a few tips. Might help you scale things up without too much hassle. Joe looked intrigued, and Sam's eyes lit up. Sam, that would be amazing. We've been trying to figure out how to make things more efficient, but it's a lot to juggle with everything else. Mei teasing Eric, looks like you can't help yourself, even on vacation. Eric laughing, what can I say? I like solving problems. That evening, after returning to the bed and breakfast and freshening up, Eric and Mei joined Joe and Sam for dinner at a cozy local diner. Over plates of fried chicken and collard greens, the conversation flowed naturally, moving from work to personal stories. Joe and Sam talked about how they met. Sam had been a city girl who fell in love with the mountains after a weekend getaway, and Joe had been her guide. Their shared love for the outdoors turned into something deeper, leading to their marriage and life in Sapphire. Mei smiling, that's such a great story. Sounds like something out of a romance novel. Joe grinning. It's not all sunsets and hikes, trust me. Farming and running a business can get stressful. Eric, I get it. Running a logistics company isn't exactly a walk in the park, either. But if you love what you do, it's worth it. Sam, exactly. And honestly, meeting people like you two makes it even better. By the end of the meal, they felt like old friends. The next day, Joe invited Eric and Mei to visit his farm. Tucked into a valley surrounded by mountains, it was a large-scale operation with rows of fresh vegetables, beehives for honey production, and large barns. Eric, I thought you said a small farm. Joe, this is small. My uncle has a farm 4 times as big as this. He's been talking to my dad about handing me this business. Eric, wow. That's a lot. Sam, yep. So we figured we needed to figure out how to make farming profitable before that happened. Eric took the opportunity to walk through the logistics of transporting fresh produce. Eric pointing to the loading area, "You've got a good setup here. If you invest in some insulated containers, you can keep your produce fresh for longer trips. That'll open up more markets for you." Joe, "That's a great idea. I've always thought of farming as just growing things, but there's so much more to it." Sam, "And here I thought you were just here for the views." Mei laughing, "Eric loves a good project. And honestly, it's great to see him so excited." As a thank you for Eric's advice, Joe and Sam invited the Johnsons to their family mansion in the mountains. "Joe, it's been in my family for generations. We don't bring just anyone up there, but I think you two have earned it." The mansion was a stunning blend of rustic charm and modern comfort, with wide windows offering breathtaking views of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Over a hearty meal prepared by Sam, they deepened their bond, sharing hopes, dreams, and plenty of laughs. Sam raising her glass, "To new friends and new adventures. I have a feeling this isn't the last time we'll see each other." Mei, "Definitely not. You're stuck with us now." The Wells home was breathtaking, a sprawling log cabin perched on a hill with panoramic views of the surrounding mountains. Inside, it was warm and inviting, filled with eclectic art, heirlooms, and photographs of their travels. Over dinner, the conversation flowed easily. Joe and Sam shared stories about growing up in the area and their adventures as guides, while Eric and Mei talked about their lives in the city and their recent wedding. "Mei, this place feels like it's out of a dream. Can't imagine ever leaving." Sam smiling, "It's hard to let go of a place like this. But we're lucky we get to share it with people like you." As the evening wound down, Joe brought out a bottle of locally distilled whiskey for a toast. Joe raising his glass, "To new friends and adventures. May the mountains always call you back." Eric, "And to you both for making this trip unforgettable." Over the next few days, Joe and Sam took them on a series of unforgettable adventures. One afternoon, they hiked to Whitewater Falls, where the cascading water shimmered in the sunlight like a curtain of diamonds. Mei, initially hesitant about the hike, stood mesmerized as the mist kissed her skin. Mei snapping a photo, "Okay, I take it back. This is worth every step." Another day, they visited Panthatown Valley, often called the Yosemite of the East. As they strolled through lush meadows and dense forests, Joe and Sam pointed out local flora and fauna, sharing stories about the land's history. Joe and Sam took Eric and Mei to some of the most stunning spots in the area. They hiked through lush forests, the sound of birdsong and crunching leaves accompanying them, and crossed wooden bridges over streams so clear you could see the pebbles at the bottom. One day, they explored Rainbow Falls, a stunning cascade that created a perpetual mist in the air. Mei snapping a photo, "This is going to be my phone wallpaper for months." Joe, "Wait until you see it at sunset. It's something else entirely." Another day, they ventured to Chimney Top Mountain, where the trail opened up to a panoramic view of rolling hills and valleys. Eric catching his breath at the summit, "Totally worth the climb." Sam, "It's our favorite spot for picnics. You can see the entire valley from up here." On their final evening, Joe and Sam prepared a farewell dinner at their mansion, complete with fresh trout, roasted vegetables, and Sam's homemade peach cobbler. Sam raising a toast, "To new friends. May this trip be just the beginning of a long and wonderful adventure for you too." Joe, "And to a future visit. Next time, we'll take you to our secret swimming hole." Eric, "You've got a deal." On their last day in Sapphire, Eric and Mei exchanged contact information with Joe and Sam, promising to stay in touch. Eric, "If you ever need help with logistics or just want to visit the city, let us know. We owe you for making this trip unforgettable." Joe, "And if you ever want to escape back to the mountains, you know where to find us." Eric and Mei took one final stroll by the lake near the inn, reflecting on their time in the mountains. Mei squeezing Eric's hand, "This was perfect. I didn't know how much I needed this until now." Eric, "I did. That's why I picked it." As they packed their car and said goodbye to Mrs. Calhoun, they felt a pang of sadness, but also gratitude for the memories they'd made. As they drove away, Mei looked at Eric, her heart full. "Mei, I think we just made lifelong friends." Eric, "I think you're right." The mountains had given them more than just a memorable honeymoon, they'd gained kindred spirits in Joe and Sam. Mei, "So, when are we coming back?" Eric laughing, "As soon as we can." Thank you for listening to If at All Modern. If you like this content, please like, Subscribe, share and hit that notification bell for more from this series.